What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the other side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest of cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, as I am joined by Chris Abacan.
What's going on, everybody?
What's going on? Special guest for the week. So definitely continue to tune in throughout the week. So Monday, Tuesday are topics. So if you have not done so already, please go back to Monday where we talk about Airbus and their upcoming $2 billion acquisition for a big data company. And then Wednesday will be a discussion. We're going to go over some CMMC 2.0 topics. And then Thursday, I may or may not have an interview. I'm going to record it from behind the scenes. We'll record it on Monday. However, it takes me some time to edit and process and things of that nature. So hopefully it'll be up by that time. But if not, look forward to it throughout the week. And then Friday, everything else. So movies, books, games, all that good stuff. But this topic. So today we're going to talk about from fedscoop.com. The Energy Department has cyber threats to infrastructure in mind with a $70 million funding offer. So we're starting New Year off with a pretty big bang. So we talk about that $2 billion for Atos that Airbus is trying to spend. Now we're talking about $70 million that the Department of Energy is trying to spend. And this is going into a research and development um, kind of fund that will help them to deliver infrastructure against cyber related threats and other physical hazards, part of their senior agent official kind of briefing where he's trying to uh, basically protect their house, right? They're trying to beef up their defense for the Department of Energy. And last week we talked about the ransomware threat that hit, I believe it's Idaho, where the hundreds or thousands of their employees' PII was leaked. We've talked about in the past how even here in Florida, right? So Oldsmar's water plant was attacked with an RDP remote desktop threat where basically they're trying to bump up I think it was the fluoride levels or something like that to unhealthy levels that may have made people potentially sick. Hopefully that was thwarted. Luckily, somebody was on the stick and paying attention. But we've just in the past we've kind of discussed how um, a lot of our infrastructure is just not as secure as it needs to be, especially in light of the Ukraine-Russia situation, where you're seeing infrastructure attacks on the daily. We've talked about Colonial Pipeline, like right, so people were panicked because they weren't able to get gas. And we talked about JBS, I believe that's South America, the meatpacking company, where they were unable to get their products out the door. So this initiative is absolutely necessary. So, Chris, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, so it's definitely a necessary initiative, and it's a welcome one. Specifically, one I wanted to call out one thing in an article where 5 million of the funds will be going to universities, travel nations, companies, and people to provide solutions into the research and development field. So it'd be cool to see, universities and maybe potential training for workforce. But this kind of initiative is I believe, what we need um, the government to step up if we really do have this cybersecurity personnel shortage. Investment into our into our workforce and into our education is really, really key for this. And additionally, I wanted to highlight they mentioned specifically operational technology and then actually implementing zero trust initiative and zero trust capabilities with operational technology. So as an operational technology, it's technology like almost like a SCADA system, or it's a technology that is operational in nature in terms of their switching, their actual operations of electricity, natural gas, pipelines, the oils, measuring the input output flows of energy and things like that. And a lot of those are on legacy systems, right? A lot of those are on closed circuit legacy systems potentially. Um, and implementing zero trust on those essentially is saying, hey, we're going to have to make sure that there's some type of policy enforced into with accessing these. There has to be some type of identity access management implemented with, whenever a technician or, an electrician or somebody goes into a, a box somewhere, there's going to have to be some type of, identification, non-repudiation, things like that, logging involved with the operational technology. So I think that that definitely presents a challenge for a lot of these companies from the investment perspective, but also it comes from it allows these companies to have more of a what's the word I'm looking for? Have more outlook or vision, or be able to see their operational picture better, right? Specifically when it comes to security. So it'll be definitely interesting to see how they implement that. Maybe, as we go along in our journey, we'll meet some of these people in industry in these industries and, talk to them, and maybe they can share their knowledge to eventually, help secure our critical infrastructure, which is vital. And to um, provide that education, provide giving back to the American community for ensuring our cybersecurity awareness and education.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny that you mentioned SCADA systems. So I didn't even think about that. Like that was a big push back in, oh
Hmm.
man, like the 2010s, I want to say, in the Department of Defense. Like they were trying to secure and shore up a lot of those systems. So there's a big push. Like how do we regulate the things that regulate valve pressures and things of that nature that, like you said, are
Hmm.
closed circuit systems, to protect them from the adversary. So um, it's still out there. Like those things still exist, unfortunately, and they need a major overhaul or upgrade. Um, but we'll see what the future holds. I think this initiative is pretty good. That's a lot of money. Uh, Not as much money as I would have uh, suspected up front, right? Like when we're talking about government money. However, it's a foot in the door, right? Uh,
Hmm.
it's a point where they can bring somebody in to hopefully bring in their research and then open up more funds in the future to protect these systems. Because $70 million is a lot of money, but it won't go very far. That's like maybe one power plant. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
right.
in the grand scheme of things.
Correct.
Um, so we'll see what the future holds. Again, this is a topic that comes up multiple times a year, whether it be for nefarious reasons because somebody's been breached or hacked or what have you, or um, we get to see more of these initiatives as they begin to trickle down. So this year 70 million, maybe next year will be 150 million, right? Like as they progress to protect us and hopefully our power plants, our water systems, and everything in between. So definitely continue to tune in throughout the week. So Monday, Tuesday are topics, Wednesday discussion. Thursday will be hopefully Ask a CISP with an interview. If not, it'll be a throwback. And then Fridays, everything else. I've consumed a lot of media over the holidays, so movies, books, games, all that good stuff. So continue to tune in. Hit up all the websites that go by our name. You get me up personally. I'm at RyRy Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. You can find me on LinkedIn, Clubhouse, Twitter, and Threads. And you, Chris, where can they find you?
You can find me under Chris Avocon on LinkedIn.
There it
Connect with me there.
is. Okay, go ahead and connect with Chris. I'm gonna have his thumbnail up as well, right? The show that he's on the show this week. Um, yeah, continue to tune in. Stay safe, stay secure.